Hi, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. So, as you guys may be aware, the queen of the Amberverse, the lady of Lexington, Miss AmberLynn Reed, has returned to YouTube. And as such, we gotta cover it. It's just what we gotta do here. I was actually thinking that maybe I would make this like my the weekly Chantal series where I would just cover Amber once a week, probably on Fridays. So this way I can like bookend our girls. And I'm thinking of calling it Amber Alert. I think it's very fitting. Let me know if you guys love it or hate it. I mean, I'm going to keep the title regardless, but I would still like to know what you guys think about it. Just so you know, normally I skip through the videos at like fast, like double speed or something like that, just to get an idea of what I want to talk about. But this time I'm going into it completely cold. Both the videos I have seen literally nothing other than brief snippets here and there on like Twitter, you know, people talking about it essentially. I'm going into it cold. It was my birthday. I am very hungover on cake, and it's like already like 1:30 at night. I need to film, and I want to go to bed, and I still have to wash my face off. So I hope it's okay. If it's not as pointed as normal, I apologize. I'll still do my best, as always.
Hey guys, so long time no see. How are you guys doing? How do you film?
All right off the bat, I get her costume as Wednesday Addams. I knew the moment I looked at her, but do you guys see how her sleeves are rolled up? I'm not 100% sure if that's because they're like short, which doesn't make sense because Wednesday always wore like full sleeves. But even if they are short, I think she might have rolled them up a little bit more. A lot of us heavier girls, myself included, we carry a lot of weight disproportionately in our arms, and we get like those like little chicken flappy bits here. I have them too, like no shade. But I think that's why she has them rolled up, because sometimes, especially depending on your shape, you can carry a lot of weight there, and then sleeves become a really big issue. Chantal has actually also done something similar. She has that one top that she recently showed off. She's like, hey guys, do you remember this top? I got it back from BB's place. She has the sleeves cut off on that. And the reason is probably because they were too tight on her arms. She carries a lot of weight in her arms.
So it is Halloween, so happy Halloween. I know you guys are probably not seeing this on Halloween, but it is Halloween, and I am Wednesday Addams. If you guys don't know who that is, there she is. I'm sure most of you know who that is. I also dressed up as a Minnie Mouse, I want to say about a week ago or so, because I went to Becky's sister's house where we all dressed up and we just had tons of fun. So I'll show you that clip right here. Here we have obviously the ears. I decided to do the nose. I just got some red hoops for matching. Obviously the gloves, they are way too big, but we're okay with that. We have her dress. Super cute. I put bows. This one keeps flipping no matter how much I try to fix it. At the end of my pigtails. And I have her yellow shoes, obviously.
I like that outfit on her. I think it looks really cute. It works. She looks pretty adorable. You know, good on her. I mean, I don't like the fact that she's probably going to an indoor party without masks on in a state like Kentucky where they have very lax rules about COVID-19 in the middle of a global pandemic, but you know, good on her. The costume's real nice.
So yeah, the elephant in the room, no pun intended. I have been gone for about a month now, and I've always said and made announcements on YouTube that I am going to take a break and I'm going to leave YouTube. And I think from the very beginning of YouTube, and I've been on here for almost 8 years. Oh my God, it's gonna be 8 years in November.
Wow, 8 years. Amber has been on YouTube for 8 years. That is impressive. If she had gone to school, she would probably have graduated from med school by now. I mean, here's what I don't understand. If I was in a job and after 8 years, I had just managed to acquire one new piece of technology to make me better at my job, I would be sad that I had learned nothing, that I had wasted 8 years in a job where I had learned nothing and done nothing. Because that's essentially what Amber has done. She's learned nothing and she's done nothing. It's not like she's using any fancy software. It's not like the video quality has gotten any better. It's not like she's, I don't know, living a very exciting life here. She hasn't managed to lose weight. She doesn't have any sponsorships. She doesn't have like a channel, whatever the monetized channel thing there is. She doesn't do lives. She doesn't have a Patreon. She doesn't promote her videos on any other platforms. She doesn't even do collaborations. Nothing. She's literally just done absolutely like the barest minimums for 8 years. I honestly don't even know what to say about that.
I have needed a time to really reflect on my life, the decisions I've made, and the things that I'm striving to do with my life, and the person I was, am, and who I want to become.
I really, really hope that all the reflection that she's apparently doing included seeing a therapist who would be able to help her work through a lot of these issues that she's having, give her better coping strategies, just basically help her manage her life. Because you might think you know what you're doing, but when it comes to mental health, and especially when it comes to self-reflection and growth, having somebody point you in the right direction, who's talked to many people, who has the research on their side, and basically someone who's non-judgmental, and for me, who does not give a crap about, you know, essentially telling me what I want to hear, it's very, very helpful knowing that someone is looking at its stuff from an objective point of view. Seeing a therapist can be extremely beneficial, and Amber is in a very fortunate position. She has the funds to do so. I know so many people who would kill to be able to afford therapy.
I have gotten so many people reaching out to me, and you guys have been so sweet and kind. But then when I go to like the community posts that I posted here on YouTube, people are disgusting and vicious, and I'm not here for those people. I never will be here for those people. I'm here for the people who care and who are supporters.
This is the community that you've built for yourself. I mean, I know that just saying that doesn't excuse people being just unnecessarily cruel to you, but you have done stuff to garner this audience. You've trolled to gain hate views, and unfortunately, this is what hate views brings. And on top of that, there's a lot of shitty behavior in your past. I mean, the way you treat your friends, the way you treat your pets, the way you treat Becky, the way you treat your audience, it makes it very difficult to hold any amount of sympathy for you for a prolonged period of time. You make that choice every single time you choose to essentially act like a troll on the internet. I mean, I get that you get hate. You would get some amount of hate no matter what you did, but you can seriously help reduce that amount if you just modified your behavior. There is something to be said for setting realistic expectations for yourself. If you choose to do nothing, to change nothing about yourself, and then expect that other people will change, that's never going to happen. I mean, not to get too philosophical and quote Gandhi here, but you have to be the change you wish to see in the world. You want a different audience, be different. Work for that audience. That's all there is to it.
And I understand that if I had a normal job, I probably wouldn't be able to be gone for a month. But it's so crazy. You know, it's almost 2021 and there are some different types of jobs. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can make money on TikTok. Like, what are you doing? Like, living your life on TikTok, having a wonderful time, and also making income to live your best life. And I'm here on YouTube. That is how I keep a roof over my head. I am technically my own boss.
Honestly, anything can be a job if you struggle and you work your ass off and you can find the right audience for it. AmberLynn has actually found an audience for her content, which is very amazing given that she doesn't really have a very interesting life. I mean, at least from my point of view. But there is an audience. People are interested in her overarching story if they're not interested in her day-to-day life. That said, she's done nothing with that opportunity. I mean, I'll be honest, she could have gotten her groceries, could be like, oh, I'm doing this grocery thing. I'm going to have, look, I'm working with these companies. Look at all of this product. Oh, I'm going to try all of these things for you. She could have done something like that. She could have done like a meal service. She could have done, hell, even the coldest water bottle. There are so many different products that she could have gotten sponsored, even like the tons of different boxes like BoxyCharm, you know, whatever the Ipsy and the other 14 billion boxes are that she used to get at one point. All of those she could have gotten for free if she had just put in some legwork on her part. Choosing not to do that and then being surprised that other people have somehow managed to gain success. I mean, yeah, some of it I'm sure is luck, but I forgot who said this, but somebody said that I found that the harder I work, the luckier I get. That's what it is. If you choose not to work hard, you're not going to be afforded any of the opportunities. You won't be in the position to take advantage of an opportunity that presents itself. I mean, I find it very sad. I find it very sad that she's been on here for 8 years. She seems surprised by the fact that people are making it a go on TikTok. She doesn't seem to understand that the hard work that you put in directly correlates to how successful you will be in life.
Ever since I got cancer and I moved here and I had a hysterectomy, and now I live with my girlfriend, just me and her, I feel like I have changed so much mentally. And the way that I handle things and go about things is like so completely different than how I used to be.
That may be true. I mean, you can't know anybody's internal processes or anyone's internal state. But quite frankly, I haven't seen any behavioral changes in Amber. And when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Even you guys, because I've been told countless times, you guys can also see that as well, which makes me really happy. You know, we all grow, we all learn from our past mistakes, and we just all grow into a different person. You know, I'm someone different than I was a week ago, especially the person I was, say, when I was with my ex Crystal or when I was with my ex Destiny. Completely different people. So when I get confronted with the things that I've done in the past repeatedly, it's just like, I don't know how many times I can say I'm sorry, but I've changed. It's just, I know that I'll never be perfect, but I also know that I'll never make the mistakes I have made in the past because I am a different person.
Part of growing as a person is learning from your mistakes and acknowledging what you did wrong, acknowledging the hurt, and then growing from it and becoming a better person, right? Now, you've never fully acknowledged where you were wrong, what you did wrong, whether you were, you know, perhaps not as kind as you could have been or whatever, you know, like the myriad of things. I'm going to take the one where you dead named your ex, Casey. You've dead named him several times. And you could have just gone back, and this honestly would have been as simple a fix as saying, sorry, I am very used to referring to Casey by his old name, and I didn't realize the hurt that I was causing. But now I know, and I won't do it again, and I'm sorry. Instead, you have continuously defended your actions, and you've continuously made the situation worse. You didn't have to do that. I don't know why you chose to do that. But you didn't acknowledge the specific action that you took that caused the pain. You didn't say, I'm very sorry, and then you didn't change for the better moving forward, right? And the problem is that every time you failed to go through those 3 steps, it made it harder and harder for your audience to trust you when you attempted even step 1 or 2. And now we're at the point where there's very little that I think that you can say or do that would ever make us feel like, oh yeah, she's going to get all the way through step 3 and then never do it again. A lot of people feel like it's a waiting game with you. That being said, even now, you can continue to try. And if you never did it again, eventually people will forget. You have to give your audience time to build that trust back up in you again.
And I do want to say, in the midst of me trying to figure my life out, I finally have got a ring light, and we are using that.
And for a moment, I was so hopeful. This is not going to be a great restart. I can already feel it. Next.
Hey guys, so welcome to another video. I figured since I've been gone for so long, we should do a Q&A type video. So on Instagram, I asked you guys to ask me questions.
Okay, 2 things here right off the bat. First is I actually think the ring light looks pretty good. It's lighting her up pretty well. I like the contrast between the lighting on her face and the lighting in the background. The lighting in the background is pretty soft and it's, you know, warmer. I think it looks pretty good. It looks semi-professional. But she could center it a little bit better because I feel like she's a little out of frame in some places. But I mean, who am I to talk? I'm literally like terribly positioned in half of my videos, so it's like the pot calling the kettle black or something. Two, I'm really glad that that bed is made because, oh my God, if I had to watch an entire video with her bed in the background, it was just a mountain of pillows and like crumpled bed sheets and blankets, I would have literally lost my crap.
How has 2020 been for you? It has been horrible. Diagnosed with cancer, hysterectomy. There has been deaths in my life that have literally hurt so bad. I have seen people around me hurt, and just a lot has happened. But two big, really good things have happened. Becky and I live together. We've always lived together, but I'm saying we live together, just me and her, and it has been honestly so wonderful. We both love it, and we're so much happier here. And also, my mom. I am so close to her now, and I love her so much, and I'm proud of her. And it's been a long time coming. 12 years and a whole lifetime of not the greatest relationship, but that's like a whole other long story all within itself. But that has been, you know, the two really, really, really great things that have happened this year.
I'm really glad that she's reconnected with her mom. I know that it's very weird to think that something good can come out of cancer, but getting closure on a relationship like that can be very, very helpful, especially with someone who's as pivotal in your life as your mother can be. I'm really glad that Amber has that. And quite frankly, she's had a very tough life, right? Like, she's had a very, very rough upbringing. And so having this moment, having this as not a consolation prize, but having this solace that, hey, at least I have this now that I didn't have before, that can be a very comforting thing, especially when you've lost something, which Amber has. No matter what anybody says about whether or not she brought on herself or whatever, I don't believe that. Cancer is an awful thing, and I don't wish it on anybody. And yeah, her unhealthy eating may have made her more likely to develop a cancer like this, but she didn't bring it on herself. That's a cruel thing to say. Still, I'm glad that she got the support of her mom through this. I'm glad that, you know, they reconnected. And I'm really hoping that that's like laid to like rest some of the demons that she's had. And I'm hoping that that helps her with her mental health moving forward. And I'm hoping that that also results in, you know, some better physical outcomes for her.
Look at everything you've done past years. Do you really think you don't deserve any of the hate? No, I never said that. Well, okay, this is actually a loaded question. I don't really think anyone deserves hate per se. I think that people deserved to be hated. Like if you're a murderer or freaking anything like that. But with the amount of hate that I get. Okay, you guys, so my camera died literally mid-sentence, so let's retry this again. I don't even remember what I was saying, but I know the question was, look at everything you've done in the past years. Do you really think you don't deserve any of the hate? So I'm just gonna speak for myself, and I'm gonna say no, I do not deserve the harassment that I do get. In my opinion, I haven't done anything in the last couple of years that deserves that type of just lashing that people give me. I do not think that I deserve that, no.
Okay, I'm not gonna refute that claim. All in all, again and again, just bring up things from her past. I'm just gonna say that less than a year ago, she left her pet quaking in pain at home so she could go out to eat while lying to our faces about whether or not there was a 24-hour vet within driving distance of her. Just keep that in mind, okay?
Why do people assume you're still in love with Destiny? Okay, so we're gonna do a little tea spilling here. And Destiny doesn't even know this, so I'm sure you guys will message her. So when I first got with Becky, I was very open about everything that I was feeling, what I've been through. That's just the type of person I am. I'm very transparent, especially if I'm fixing to be in a relationship. I want to say probably upwards to a year and a half after Destiny and I broke up, I was still in love with her. I was able to separate that though from the love that I felt for Becky. I was also in love with Becky. And I know there's like this like thing where people like, you can't be in love with two people at once. You can. Like, have you guys ever heard of sister wives? Like, hi, like, I'm not like into that. That's not me. I'm not like against it either. But you can definitely be in love with more than one person at a time. But why people still think that now, I think it's really just like a drama-filled fun time for them, because I'm definitely over Destiny in that way. We hang out still to this day. Like, she is like one of my best friends, and there's things in her that I'm just like, that is not like who I would want to spend the rest of my life with. And that's like no shade, no tea. Me and her both feel the same way. Just because our relationship didn't work in that sort of way doesn't mean that we can't still be best friends. Like, I feel like she's family to me, and I have not been in love with her for about 2 years now. But people want to create that drama because it's fun to them.
Ooh, this is like emotional messiness. This is not this is not my strong suit. Okay, like emotional messes are not my strong suit. My friends all know this. I don't even like watching a lot of like emotional dramas. I'm more of a murder or a bust kind of a gal.
Are you ever worried about running out of money? No, because I know how to budget. You guys see me as like the spending machine, and I'm not gonna lie, I do spend a lot. But it's within my budget, it's within the little area that I have to spend money, and I'm not worried. No, I'm really not, because I know how to save money, spend responsibly within what I have, take care of my bills first. And I know what I'm doing with my money. I hate having to like justify that, but I just know what I'm doing. So no, I'm not worried about that.
I really hope that she actually is being very truthful here. And I also really hope that she has like an accountant or like a finance person. She makes a fair amount of money and she could actually save a lot. I think I was having a conversation with somebody in my comment section back and forth about how much money you actually need for retirement. And we have to consider that it's not just her, it's her and Becky. And given the fact that they're both very overweight, they're going to have health complications later on in life, and they need to put money away for that. They don't own anything. They should really buy some kind of property so they have that insurance. I just mean that I hope that she's not simply relying on her understanding of her accounting and her financing while she's saving money, if she's saving money, right? Even if I take her at her word, she's not an expert in this. And honest to goodness, accounting is an extremely difficult task. I mean, just the laws surrounding finances are extremely difficult. So I would really, really hope that she actually is talking to an expert about this. Just a quick tip for anybody here who's watching. If you guys live in the United States, I would really recommend that you guys start a retirement account, like an IRA, as soon as humanly possible. If you make less than, I think it's $130,000 a year, you qualify for a Roth IRA. You can put like $6,000 in it a year. And just look into it, okay? Just trust me on this. Look into it. Get started on that as soon as possible. And if you make more than that and you still want to start an account, you want a Roth IRA, you don't qualify for a Roth IRA anymore, you qualify for a regular IRA, but you can create a regular IRA and then immediately convert it to a Roth IRA. Trust me, talk to an accountant guy, get this done, you will thank me.
Have you gained your weight back, or do you keep losing? So the topic of my weight and everything regarding that will actually be in an upcoming video. So hold on to your seats, folks, because we have some talking to do. Weren't you addressing your jaundice? Didn't you learn the first time not to ignore this? This question is super insensitive and very disrespectful and very condescending and rude, in my opinion. You're assuming that I am not addressing this in my personal life because I'm not addressing it on YouTube. I think it's really silly for you to expect me to address all of my health problems. My health is in the hands of my doctors. My skin color is no secret, but I just don't understand why you think that you deserve to hear me talk about that. And just saying like, didn't you learn the first time not to ignore this? Like, please don't, I just feel like it's so rude to like use my cancer as like a clutch because you think it's okay to say something like that to me. I don't know, it's just, it rubs me wrong and I feel like it's kind of rude. Just because I'm not addressing something online doesn't mean that I'm ignoring it in my real life.
I would 100% agree with what Amber is saying here, but I very much so doubt if she's actually listening to the advice of her doctors. She's shown a propensity for just ignoring doctors, not going to doctors, going to emergency rooms rather than going to GPs, not going to the doctors that she needs to, believing that she knows better. She just had a very fraught history with medicine in the past, which is why I feel very doubtful about whether or not she actually is listening to her doctor. I hope to God it's true, but I'm a little bit skeptical.
Are there any reaction channels that you feel genuinely want the best for you? No.
So she can make assumptions about us, but we can't make assumptions about her. Yeah, that checks out.
Do you realize your channel has become a place for people to be cruel with no repercussions? Yes, yes, and more yes. My channel, people are allowed to be vile in my comments, and it's like totally fine. No one cares.
So log off. I mean, no one broke into your house and made you post this, Amber. It's as simple as just logging off.
More mukbangs? I don't know.
Oh my God, that is the most trolly thing that she could have said. If she still doesn't see how mukbanging on camera is like negatively impacting her health, then I don't know what to tell her. All of the mukbangs that I've seen of her in the past, I mean, you can see it right then and there. You can see her trapped in her addiction. And I thought she was getting better, but if she's saying she might go back to mukbangs again, then, I mean, fuck it. What do I know, right? Fuck me, I guess.
Do you think making YouTube videos is easy or hard? I feel like the act of actually making a YouTube video and the reality of it is the easy part. I feel like actually uploading it, that's where the outcome is bad. Within, you know, the hate comments and people twisting things that you say, etc., etc.
Once more, then don't post. It's as simple as that.
Why do you ghost without saying why you're leaving? So why I left YouTube, I talked about that in my last video. But why I didn't mention that I was going to do it is because every time I mention I'm going to do something, I don't do it. So I figured I'm just going to do it, ignore it, because I knew that if I said something about it, people do get in my head. And I know a lot of you would have told me, come back, don't do it, don't do it. Stay on YouTube, you're too lazy. You can't just leave your job, da da da. I feel like a lot of that would get into my head, and I figured, you know what, I'm just not going to say anything. And I do apologize to those who like miss me or who are super worried. I completely understand, but it's just like I had to do it for myself.
Fair enough. So she doesn't owe us an explanation for why she was gone, but the fact that she was gone for this long, especially in a year where she has had a very serious health complication, can lead people to think that she might be very seriously ill again. On top of that, you have the concerns that Becky's mom died. Well, maybe somebody else might be injured. Maybe something could be wrong. I know that she gets a lot of hate, but not everyone on the channel hates her. She should at least have put up a quick update just letting people know, hey, I'm okay, and no, I don't know when I'll be back. Just something like that would have been fine. I'm not saying anyone is owed an explanation, but if people are funding your lifestyle, then you should at least let them know that you haven't, I don't know, been seriously injured or something like that. Well, that is everything from Amber. She hasn't really given us a lot of information, to be very honest with you. I was hoping we'd get a weight loss update, but she's saying she's going to put that in a completely separate video later on. I will, of course, be here for it. I will give you guys an update next Friday. And that will be it pretty much from me. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or a thumbs down if you didn't. That's totally okay. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you want to know immediately when I post. Leave me a comment down below if there's something you'd like me to really know. Share with your friends if you feel like doing that. I don't know. I don't generally add that. But hey, if you want to, it would save me from the horrors of the YouTube algorithm. And I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Twitter, where I occasionally pop off, where I give my opinions, updates about videos, all that fun stuff. I have Instagram, which is my life and all the food I'm making. Right now, since I don't go anywhere or do anything, it's mostly just the food I'm making. But if you're interested in recipes and whatnot, you know, all that content is there. I have my Patreon link down below as well. Now, think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. Essentially, if you like the job that I'm doing and you would like me to continue and you want to help me out a little bit, you can toss a few coins in my direction on Patreon. You don't have to. Please don't feel obligated. But if you did, I would really appreciate it. As always, I am Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace.